The East Coast has seen a dramatic increase in deer population over the past few decades. In Rock Creek Park, the deer population has gone from almost none in the 1960s to 55 deer per square mile in 2017. This has had an adverse effect on vegetation in the park.
We've had about 3 decades of very high deer populations, and the reasons are that the deer don't have predators here, and that we have created really nice habitat for them. Deer really love edge habitats in suburban environments and the edges of forests and the edges of development, and that has been increasing in this area over the past decades.
In 2013, the National Park Service began a deer management plan to curb the white-tailed deer population in the park. During the winter months, the park implemented deer culling, where sharpshooters from the U.S. Department of Agriculture would kill deer in order to control the population.
A number of roads are closed off, and the sharpshooters are in the park, and they will remove as many deer as are needed to get to this optimal level, which is 15 to 20 per square mile. The venison that comes from deer management is donated to food pantries in the district, primarily the DC Central Kitchen, and over the past 5 or so years, more than 7,000 pounds of meat have been donated.
We saw Rock Creek Park as a sanctuary, actually, a place where they never had killed any wildlife. They'd never allowed any killing of wildlife. And the way we got people was we just went out and had rallies. We had a rally the first time they killed deer. We only had 4 hours to prepare for it and advertise it, but one of our members was really, really good at painting huge banners that we could use. And so we got out that night. Got out with the rally, and a lot of people joined us, and we kept it up every night for a while.
In 2012, Save the Rock Creek Deer filed suit against the National Park Service on the basis that the deer management program violated the park's ban on hunting.
The courts decided against us.
That we're doing the deer management in the first place is to allow the forest to be healthy and have regeneration. And what that means is the deer were having a lot of impacts on vegetation and tree seedlings, most especially. So they're eating all those little trees that were going to grow up to be the forest of tomorrow. So if the park did not take any action, the forest over the long term would decline.
I think the real truth is, I think they have to reduce the population of deer because of the neighbors, not because of the park.
Well, the deer have been a problem for a number of years, but I've been in the garden for about 20 years, since the late 1990s, and they were, during that time frame in the 90s, were becoming increasingly problematic, getting into the garden, eating vegetables and plants that gardeners had planted.
We're trying to take this action in a way that allows the forest to recover and all the animals that depend on that forest. So it's not just plants and trees, it's rabbits and flying squirrels and foxes and all the other animals that live in the park depend on that vegetation.
The Park Service's population control program was based off of a study by the U.S. Geological Survey detailing the damage to vegetation caused by the deer. Skeptical of the Park Service's conclusion, Save the Rock Creek Deer asked an expert to reanalyze the data collected by the survey.
We had this professor from Yale University, who's very well known internationally, look at it, and he said, no, they did not show that the deer were harming the park. They did show that deer eat plants, but we already knew that.
At Catoctin Mountain Park, deer management has been ongoing for 9 years, and they have seen a 10-fold increase, so 10 times more seedlings in their forest since they've been managing deer. So we know it can work.